It feels like we've been on a bit of a roller coaster when it comes to the weather in northern Michigan the last few weeks.
But whether it's hot, cold, or just right, the perennial flowers put in the garden still look good. That's where Tom is with this week's What's Growing with Tom.
Hello, northern Michigan. Guess where we're at? Flower garden, maybe? Yeah. Flower garden is where we're at. We'll obviously have a hanging basket here. Theo Medendorp from Morgan Composting is here joining me today. Theo, this guy's looking great. How do you guys make him look so fantastic?
Well, we have a couple options and a couple ways we keep them looking good. We have a pretty strict feeding schedule. We have a liquid recipe that we put together and feed through our drip irrigation, and one of the main ingredients is this bloom blaster.
Okay.
So that's how we've kept it looking so nice, and this is actually getting towards the end of the season, and I can't believe how well they're still looking in our greenhouse. I mean,
what do you have a bloom blaster that makes all the difference here?
So part of it comes from the extra phosphorus. A lot of times phosphorus is a hard thing to make available. It locks up in the soil. So to be able to do a quick foliar spray is a good way to apply it. And then there's also some kelp and some fulvic acid, which just help with nutrient uptake, and it helps with hormone production, which is the main driver in getting these gorgeous blooms.
All right, so all we do now is just spray it quickly?
Yep. So with this stuff, what I like to do is just do a quick spray, and it's, see, I got a little bit of pressure in this hose, so I'm going to stand back a little bit because you don't want to beat up the flowers, but you want to make sure you have a nice even spray. So we're just going to do a quick, just like that.
That's it?
Yep, just a quick, you just want a little bit of moisture on it. You don't want to overdo it. And you can go a little heavier than that. I lean towards the light applications, especially with Bloom Blaster, because we really like to get our main fertility from the soil.
Okay.
And we kind of have another product that works really well for that, and we'll talk about that with this.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got our hanging basket, but how about our flowers here? We know they're perennials. Normally we've had annuals, a little different, getting them ready for hopefully our hummingbirds, all our pollinators. What do you think, and what can we do next? Because they're growing nicely, but I don't see many blooms yet.
Yeah, so again, the Bloom Blaster is a great option, and you would do it the same way that we did this one. You would just stand back and do a quick, we like to recommend a figure-8 motion, which is a lot easier on these beds versus when you're trying to do just one raised or one hanging basket.
Yep.
But really what I like to use even more, or in combination with the Bloom Blaster, is our Healthy Garden. This is a granulated fertilizer, and I always say, I mean, if you can feed the soil's going to feed the plant. The liquids are great to give it that extra kick, but your main fertility, you really want to come from the soil. And the Healthy Garden is my favorite. Usually we aim for about a teaspoon in the hanging baskets, and you can do that up to every other week. A lot of times it's not necessary unless it's a pretty big basket. With these outdoor plants, you can go a little heavier, a tablespoon per foot of plant height between every other week or once a month. In the 201, it's not required.
I'm going to say the 201, it's already out in there.
Yep, and you guys can see this. This is fresh 201, and these are doing wonderfully. They really have everything they need. Once they get to the end of the season, some of the high demand ones might take a little bit of extra.
Yeah.
But a lot of people go all the way through with just the flower dew and don't have to add anything. So, but this works really well the next year if you're re-amending and want to reuse your same soil.
Okay.
It's an excellent option to get it back up to par.
And obviously you're saying the soil's pretty good, right?
Oh yeah.
And you know what? Theo's back next week. We're talking with soil. He's going to answer questions about how to make your garden a whole lot better. Stay tuned for that one next week.